Before I forget, this video will be going on YouTube as a premiere, so we'll be watching live with you as soon as it goes live, and we'll be able to chat on the YouTube chat thing. So if you want to join us and comment as we all watch the video together, hopefully you'll be able to do it right now, and there will be like a chat option somewhere and we can all participate. I know it is not Friday, but we thought that this week we would make an extra video because many of you have been asking this for a long time. How much have you spent so far on this boat? I'm gonna try to find the answer to that on this video. Before we get into all the numbers, I just wanted to clarify one thing, because many of you think that we have been working on the boat for over 2 years now. And it is true that we bought the boat over 2 years ago, but we haven't worked all that time on the boat. So we bought the boat for €1 and we bought it in October of 2021. As soon as we bought it, we left the Marina and we went for a whole winter season to work in the French Alps in a ski resort. That was about 7 months, and then we came for almost the beginning of the summer. At that point we had our old boat and Seabird, our €1 project. So the first thing we had to do was get our old boat ready to sail, and then we could start working on Seabird. So it took us about 2 months to get Waste Goose ready to be sold, and thankfully Ben bought it from us. So once that happened, we could forget about having 2 boats, which was really stressful, and start with Seabird. So we started working on Seabird summer 2022, but it was already like half of the summer, so I think we did about 3 months of work that summer, and after that we had to go again for the next winter to work in the French Alps in the ski resort for another 7 months. And we came back in May last year. So it's been now just over a year that we've been full on working on Seabird, and we did about 3 months the summer of 2022. So it's just over a year really that we've been working on Seabird, not 2 years and a half like someone was saying on our last video, I think. So just to give you a little bit of context. Now, in all this time, we have bought a lot of things for the boat. But on this particular video, I'm just going to talk about the things that are already installed or materials that we have already used for the boat. We've got a container full of bits like an engine, the standing rigging, winches, loads of things for the boat, practically everything. But I'm not going to mention all that yet. We'll do a feature video for all those bits. This one will be just about how much we've spent so far on Seabird. And I must say that when I added it all up, I was surprised because I was expecting it to be more. So let's see what you guys think. Now, another thing I would like you to have in mind is that right now we live from the money we make from YouTube, patrons and donations. So this is our full-time job. And obviously we have rent to pay. We've got a container as well where we keep everything for the boat because we can't keep it in Seabird at the moment. We pay for electric, plus we pay for our food. We need to eat. So we've got fixed expenses every month. For us, rent, storage, electric, these are not expenses that we are counting on the project, because even if we were living somewhere in England or Spain or wherever and we were working to get the money that we needed to buy a boat that was ready to go, we will be paying rent as well, and we will be paying for all these things, and it will be way more expensive. So even like that, we think we're saving money. So we don't count this as part of the money that we're putting on the project. I will be giving all the amounts in euros, but hopefully on the screen I'll show different currencies so you have an idea how much is where you are. So at the moment these expenses are the rent for the space for the boat, which is 265 euros a month, the container, which is 100 euros, electric is 170 euros a month, and this is the summer rate. We have spent the whole winter paying for the winter rate, which was crazy amount of money. It was 400 euros a month, and we did that for like 5 months, the winter rate. So that is a lot of money we spent on electricity this winter, but we had to. We are in 2 boats at the moment, and in Seabird we need electric to use the tools, even though we have a solar panel, but for the tools we need the electric. It's not like we use a crazy amount of electric, but if we want to use it every day, we have to pay for the monthly rate. And our shopping, which right now is, we try to spend about 100 euros per week. I don't know if you think that's a lot or not, but we have really tried to make it cheaper and we can't. France is quite expensive for food actually, if you compare it to England or to Spain, I think. The good thing is there's a weekly market, so all our fruit and vegetables are from the market, which is cheaper than in the supermarket. So that's about, let's say, 4 weeks a month. That's 400 euros a month on food. This is all obviously approximate because every month is different, but on average. So our current fixed expenses per month are 937 euros just to live, not having in mind all the boat projects and all the tools and materials. And thanks to YouTube, patrons and donations, we managed to survive on this, plus a little bit more to get any materials or anything related to the boat. Unfortunately, we're not able to be saving any money at the moment, but as long as we can survive and keep the project going, we'll be happy. So, let's get to the interesting part. Stuart has always worked as electrician or handyman or gardener. He's always been very handy and he's got loads of tools. So we didn't have to invest a lot of money in tools. We had most of it. So far most of the money we've spent on tools and have been used so far in the project. I would say the first one obviously was the pressure washer, because that was the first thing we had to do with the boat. If you saw the state of the boat, that was really needed. We bought it second hand for 30 euros. We have made a mistake of buying cheap sanders all along this project so far. So we've ended up buying 4 sanders in total, 75 euros each. That is 300 euros and they're all dead. So at the moment we just have one still going that was bought from our wish list, also a cheap one. And then we've got the big boy that we got recently from one of our viewers as well, from our wish list, and it's a proper Makita sander that hopefully will last for a long time. We got a multi-tool, but that was also bought from our wish list. One of our patrons got it for us, so thank you very much. And we also buy a lot of bits, like small things, paintbrushes, tape, paper cups for mixing epoxy. We get all this from Action, which is a very cheap shop they have here in France. And we think that so far it's been about 200 euros in many little shops. So in total, tools, let's say 530 euros. The next would be paint. We obviously haven't painted the boat yet, but any repairs we've done on the deck, we've already primed and painted. Behind the windows, some of the windows we've taken, we've already done it, so when we paint the boat it doesn't look too bad. And we've also painted the aft cabin. So on the aft cabin paint we spent 63 euros on the primer and the paint, and on the paint for the deck 60 euros. So in total in paint 123 euros. Now for the big one. What we have spent the most amount of money in is epoxy resin, as you may be guessing. This was pretty easy to track because we have an account with the company we buy the resin from, and you can see all your your history of all your orders. So we spent 2,227 euros just on resin. And this is mainly because we're buying epoxy, which is more expensive than polyester. A lot of people tell us, why are you not using polyester resin? And our answer to that is, well, we are not experts, so obviously our repairs are probably not the best. So we thought, at least if we compensate by using the better resin, maybe it's a bit more forgiving. Because it's obvious that epoxy resin is more expensive for a reason, and it's just because it's better. And for us that was a pretty important factor. Like, if we're doing repairs on the hull and the structure inside the boat, as I said, we are not experts, so we think probably it's a good thing to use the better resin, and hopefully our repairs are okay. So that is the biggest number on the list, and is the epoxy. Next is the wood. As you know, on these last weeks, months, I could say also, we've been working on rebuilding all the ribs, some walls. A lot of the wood was completely rotten, so we've had to buy a lot of wood, and a lot of that was marine plywood, which, as you know, is expensive. So we bought so far unused on the boat 3 sheets of 15 mil. That was 145 euros each, so that's a total of 435 euros. 2 sheets of 18 mil, 165 euros each, so 330 euros the two of them. For the joists, we bought 5 long battens, you call them, of wood that were 18 euros each, so that's 90 euros. Then we bought also some not so good quality wood, some smaller battens, and all that is in total 100 euros. And we also bought the mass base wood, which is Iroko, and it was bought from the French second-hand website for 30 euros. So the total spent in wood is 985 euros. Next is the solar arch, which hopefully you'll see built pretty soon, hopefully. For the structure we used a second-hand boom cradle that we found right next to this marina, on the marina next door, for 50 euros. And then we bought the rest of the stainless needed on a website, and it was quite expensive, 450 euros. There was a lot of bits that needed polishing, and the polishing we already had, and then the polishing pads were bought from our wish list as well, so thank you very much. So in total we have spent 500 euros on our solar arch. Now, tankage. We have 2 water tanks of 100 liters each that we bought second hand here in the yard, and we bought both of them for 100 euros. Then we have a fuel tank that was very difficult to find. The boat came with a fuel tank that was like part of the bilge in a way. It was a fiberglass fuel tank that was stuck onto the bilge, and we didn't trust how the interior of that tank was. It didn't have an inspection hatch. We wanted to see what was the state of the bilge underneath this tank. So we thought the best was take the tank, get rid of, and put a new clean tank. So because of that, the shape was quite funny, and it was pretty difficult to find the right tank that would fit without having to make a custom tank. We found it, we ordered it, and they sent the wrong one. So we ended up having to buy it from a Spanish company, and it's 130 liters, and we paid for it 450 euros. It was quite expensive, but sometimes you have to pay the money. And then we got a day tank of 55 liters, second hand, for 30 euros. Now, electrical system. We bought 1 battery from Ben, 130 amp power, AGM for 80 euros. And that's the only battery that's been installed so far. 2 Victron MPPT controllers, 180 euros each, so 360 for both. We bought 2 365 watt solar panels, 105 each. And the expensive part here was the delivery. We couldn't get them here other way than being delivered by the company we bought them from. So it was 50 euros delivery. So that's 260 euros on the solar panels. And then we got a lot of things from our wish list here. The LED strips that go all around the boat. The USB plugs that we have on the front cabin and the back cabin, and also in the saloon from our wish list. 2 rolls of cables actually from our wish list. So a lot of you bought many things for the electrical system for us, so thank you very much. And we also upcycled the little lamps that were on the boat. They were damaged, they didn't look very pretty, so we painted over them and now they look very cute. So in total 700 euros on the electrical system. Then one of the also first jobs we did on the boat was some of the windows because they were leaking. They are Vitus windows and we had to buy the window seal to change in all of them, some handles, the glue to glue the seal. I think that was it. And all that came to 180 euros. And then we bought a second-hand little round window, also V2s, and that was 50 euros. So we've spent 230 euros on window repairs and bits and stuff. And the last thing that is been already installed is the gas installation with the copper pipes, all the tails and the tab to close and open the gas. That was 150 euros in total. We bought a second-hand cooker here in the yard for 50 euros. And then we found 2 empty gas bottles and we took one of them to be refilled. And the refill for that is 30 euros, but we don't have to pay the deposit for the bottle, so we save on that. So in total, the gas installation was 230 euros. And that is it. We couldn't think about anything else, like big expenses that are already on the boat. This is all we came up with. And the total... 6,105 euros. So our boat is not a €1 boat anymore. It's a 6,000 euro boat. We knew when we bought it that it wasn't gonna be just €1. It was obvious. But we're just trying to make it as cheap as possible. We're also living here at the same time. We're not counting the hours we're putting in because we're actually getting paid for it now. So for us, this is our job, which we feel incredibly lucky for. So this is all thanks to you guys. And hopefully we can keep it up and get this project finished and put all the bits that we bought that are in storage, put them on the boat. And then we'll be doing a future video with all the actual money that is gone onto the boat once it's finished. But so far, that is it. I hope you enjoyed it and let us know in the comments, did you think that we had to spend more, less, or what do you think? Our main expenses have been resin and wood. That is half of the total. So yeah, I don't think it's really that much if you think we are replacing the whole structure of the boat and hopefully making it stronger. Anyway, thank you for being there because this is all thanks to you. Thank you, patrons, to everyone who donates or goes through our wish list. As you have just seen, a lot of things that are on the wish list have been used already or we use on a daily basis. There's many things I haven't even mentioned here, like gloves, the other day blue roll, paintbrushes. Many things are kind of constantly on our wish list. Sperm suits for grinding fiberglass, sanding pads. There's many things that we use on a daily basis and we don't have to spend money on because you guys buy them for us. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this extra episode, and hopefully I'll see you all in a couple of days. Until then, have a good time, guys. Bye!